Rome wasn't built in a day, they say, and neither was its history. We begin with its birth. The tale of Rome's founding is one steeped in myth and legend. As the story goes, it all started in 753 BC with two brothers, Romulus and Remus. These twin brothers were the sons of Mars, the god of war, and Rhea Silvia, a Vestal virgin. Their story is one of intrigue, betrayal, and the thirst for power. Abandoned by their mother and left to the mercy of the Tiber River, destiny had other plans. A she-wolf, in an act of divine intervention, discovered the twins and nurtured them. As they grew older, they decided to establish a city of their own, but the question of who would rule this new city led to a bitter dispute. Their disagreement escalated into a tragic confrontation, with Romulus eventually killing his brother Remus. Romulus then became the sole ruler and named the city after himself, Rome. Thus, the foundations of what would become one of the greatest civilizations in history were laid. But the story of Rome's birth doesn't end there. After its establishment, Romulus sought to populate his city. He opened its doors to fugitives, exiles, and criminals, providing them with a new home. This eclectic mix of people became the early Romans, the citizens of this nascent city. Romulus then established the Roman kingdom, putting into place a political and social structure that would evolve over centuries. He is credited with the creation of Rome's religious institutions and its division into 30 curia, which formed the basis of its social structure. The Roman kingdom, under the rule of 7 kings, lasted for about 245 years. This period saw the laying of the groundwork for Rome's future military, political, and social institutions. Thus, Rome was born, a city destined for greatness. From the mythical tale of its founding to the establishment of the Roman kingdom, the birth of Rome is a story of resilience, ambition, and the desire for a place to call home. A change came about in 509 BC. The Roman Republic was established. A wind of revolution blew in the heart of Rome, casting aside the last vestiges of monarchy and giving birth to the Roman Republic. The last Roman king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, ruled with an iron fist, his reign characterized by tyranny and absolute power. But his arrogance and disregard for the rule of law would be his downfall. Driven by the brutal assault of Lucretia, a noblewoman by the king's son, the Roman people, led by Lucius Junius Brutus, rose against the monarchy. This marked the end of the Roman kingdom and the beginning of the Roman Republic. The new system of governance, the Republic, was a radical departure from the monarchy. Here, power was not concentrated in the hands of a single ruler, but was divided among elected officials known as senators. These senators were chosen by the Roman citizens, giving them a direct say in the governance of their city-state. The Republic was characterized by a complex system of checks and balances, designed to prevent any one individual from gaining absolute power, a clear lesson learned from the era of kings. 2 consuls were elected annually to lead the government, while the Senate, consisting of patricians, the aristocratic class, focused on policy and legislation. The plebeian council, on the other hand, represented the common people of Rome. Their tribunes could veto any legislation that they felt was not in the best interest of the people, providing a counterbalance to the power of the Senate. The Republic was not without its challenges, however. Social and economic inequality, corruption, and political infighting were rampant. Despite these issues, the Republic proved to be a robust system of governance that allowed Rome to expand its territories and influence across the Mediterranean. The Roman Republic was a landmark in human governance. It was a system that valued the voice of its citizens and sought to balance power among its leaders. It was indeed a system that propelled Rome into becoming one of the greatest empires in history. The Republic, a system that would see Rome grow and expand in ways previously unimaginable. As Rome grew, so did its ambitions and conflicts, leading to the Punic Wars. This era saw Rome and Carthage, 2 burgeoning powers, locked in a series of 3 bloody conflicts known as the Punic Wars. Carthage, a prosperous maritime city in North Africa, and Rome, the rising power of the Italian peninsula, were both eager to dominate the Mediterranean. The First Punic War, spanning from 264 to 241 BCE, was primarily a naval conflict. It was sparked by disputes over control of Sicily. Rome, despite its inexperience at sea, managed to defeat the Carthaginian fleet and annex Sicily, marking Rome's first overseas province. The Second Punic War, from 218 to 201 BCE, is perhaps the most famous of the three. It was during this war that the Carthaginian general Hannibal famously led his army, elephants and all, over the Alps into Italy. However, despite his initial victories, Hannibal could not overcome Rome's resources and resilience. Rome countered by attacking Carthage directly, forcing Hannibal to return home and ultimately leading to another Roman victory. The Third and final Punic War, from 149 to 146 BCE, was a brutal end to the conflict. Rome, fearing Carthage's potential resurgence, laid siege to the city. After a grueling 3-year battle, Carthage fell. The city was destroyed, its inhabitants sold into slavery, and its territory became a Roman province. The Punic Wars were transformative for Rome. They marked the transition from a regional power to a sprawling empire. Rome's victories brought new territories, wealth and power, but also new challenges and conflicts. These wars are a testament to Rome's tenacity, strategic brilliance and unyielding ambition that would propel it to unparalleled heights. The Punic Wars were not just a series of military conflicts. They were a crucible in which the Roman Empire was forged. Rome emerged victorious, its power now stretching across the Mediterranean. But power and wealth brought corruption and conflict, leading to the fall of the Republic. As Rome's influence expanded, so too did its wealth and might. Yet this newfound prosperity was not without its pitfalls. It bred corruption and sowed discord among the ruling classes, turning allies into adversaries and brothers into bitter enemies. The Republic, once a beacon of democracy and unity, was now a stage for power struggles and civil unrest. Amidst this tumultuous backdrop, a figure of remarkable cunning and ambition emerged: Julius Caesar. A military genius and a charismatic leader, Caesar was a man of the people. He championed the cause of the common man and promised to bring order to the chaos that had engulfed the Republic. His populist policies and military successes earned him the admiration of many and the ire of the established elite. Yet, as Caesar's power grew, so did his desire for absolute control. He was appointed dictator in perpetuity, effectively marking the end of the Republic. Caesar's autocratic reign, however, was short-lived. His increasing power and disregard for the Republic's traditions alarmed many of his contemporaries. A conspiracy was hatched among the senators, led by Brutus and Cassius, to assassinate Caesar and restore the Republic. On the Ides of March in 44 BC, they struck. Caesar was ambushed in the Senate and stabbed 23 times. His last words, as legend has it, were to Brutus, "Et tu, Brute?" And you, Brutus? But Caesar's death did not restore the Republic as the conspirators had hoped. Instead, it plunged Rome into a violent power struggle, leading to the rise of Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, and the dawn of the Roman Empire. The Republic had fallen, and in its place, an empire was about to rise. In 27 BC, the Roman Empire was born. The Republic had fallen, and from its ashes emerged an empire, the likes of which the world had never seen. At the helm of this mighty entity stood a man by the name of Augustus Caesar, the first emperor of Rome. Augustus, originally known as Octavian, was the adoptive son of the infamous Julius Caesar. Upon his father's assassination, Octavian found himself embroiled in a power struggle that would shape the course of Roman history. After defeating Mark Antony and Cleopatra in the Battle of Actium, Octavian stood unchallenged, the sole ruler of Rome's vast territories. But Octavian was no ordinary ruler. He was a shrewd politician who knew the dangers of appearing too powerful. So he did something unprecedented. He offered to return power to the Senate, knowing full well they would refuse and grant him even more authority. It was a masterstroke of political genius. The Senate bestowed upon him the title of Augustus, meaning the revered one. And so Augustus Caesar was born, the first emperor of Rome. Under Augustus, Rome flourished. He ushered in a period of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. He expanded the empire, secured its borders, and reformed the military. He instituted a series of social and political reforms that stabilized the empire and allowed for a golden age of Roman culture. But perhaps Augustus's most enduring legacy was the establishment of the imperial system, a form of government that would dominate Rome for the next 400 years. He skillfully balanced the power of the military, the Senate, and the people, ensuring the longevity of his rule and the empire he had built. So, in 27 BC, Rome was reborn. It had weathered the storm of the Republic's fall and emerged stronger, more powerful. Rome was now an empire, its reach and influence greater than ever before. The stage was set for Rome to become the most dominant power in the ancient world, a status it would maintain for centuries to come. The Roman Empire entered a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity, the Pax Romana. Picture this, a vast empire stretching from the sandy dunes of the Middle East to the wild forests of Britannia, from the sun-kissed shores of North Africa to the snowy peaks of the Alps, an empire where peace reigned for over 200 years. This was the Pax Romana, a time of tranquility and growth, where the arts flourished, trade boomed, and Rome reached its zenith. But what exactly was the Pax Romana? Literally meaning Roman peace, this term refers to a period from 27 BC to 180 AD, when Rome was relatively free from large-scale conflict. It began with the reign of Augustus, Rome's first emperor, who implemented policies to stabilize the empire, from a standing army to an efficient bureaucracy. The Pax Romana was more than just a time of peace. It was an era of prosperity, a golden age. The empire was connected by a network of well-maintained roads and sea routes, facilitating trade and exchange. Roman law was standardized across the provinces, ensuring justice and stability. There was a boom in architecture and infrastructure, with the construction of iconic structures like the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the aqueducts. Literature and the arts thrived. This was the age of Virgil, Ovid, and Horace, poets who continue to inspire us today. The Roman Empire was a melting pot of cultures, where ideas were exchanged and knowledge expanded. But even during the Pax Romana, Rome was not without its challenges. There were revolts, power struggles, and economic issues. The reign of the infamous Emperor Nero marked a period of decadence and corruption. And then, in 180 AD, the death of Emperor Marcus Aurelius signaled the end of the Pax Romana and the beginning of a slow decline. It was a golden age, but even golden ages must come to an end. The Pax Romana was a time of great achievements and advancements, a testament to the power and glory of Rome. But like all empires, Rome too had its sunset. Yet the legacy of the Pax Romana continues to influence our modern world, a reminder of what humanity can achieve in times of peace and prosperity. By the 3rd century AD, the Roman Empire began to crumble. The might and vigor of Rome, which had once been a beacon of power and civilization, started to fade. The fall of the Roman Empire wasn't a sudden catastrophic event. It was the result of a slow decay that had been eating at the heart of Rome for centuries. Let's delve into the reasons that led to this downfall. First and foremost, the Roman Empire was plagued by severe economic troubles. The government was constantly in debt, burdened by the cost of maintaining the army and public works. Inflation soared as emperors devalued the currency to meet rising expenses. This led to a decline in trade, causing the once thriving economy to stagnate. The military, once the pride of Rome, was also in a state of disarray. It had become increasingly difficult to recruit Roman citizens into the army, leading to reliance on foreign mercenaries who had little loyalty to the empire. Corruption and incompetence among the military ranks further weakened Rome's defense. Then there were the Huns and the Visigoths. These formidable tribes from the east and north, respectively, began to pressure the borders of the Roman Empire. The Huns, led by Attila, were particularly ruthless, causing widespread destruction wherever they went. The Visigoths, on the other hand, seeking refuge from the Huns, were initially welcomed into the empire. However, their mistreatment led to a rebellion culminating in the sack of Rome in AD 410. These factors, combined with internal strife and political instability, created a perfect storm that the Roman Empire could not weather. The once invincible empire was now a shadow of its former self, unable to fend off the relentless invasions and internal decay. In 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire fell, signaling the end of ancient Rome. The last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, was deposed by Odoacer, a Germanic king, marking the end of 1,000 years of Roman supremacy and the beginning of the Middle Ages. But all was not lost. The Eastern Roman Empire, or the Byzantine Empire, carried on. As the western half of Rome crumbled, the eastern half, known as the Byzantine Empire, thrived. This empire, with its capital at Constantinople, was a beacon of stability amidst the chaos. It was a bastion of culture and knowledge, keeping the flame of Roman and Greek civilization burning bright when the rest of Europe was plunged into the Dark Ages. The Byzantine Empire was more than just a continuation of the Roman Empire. It was a fusion of Roman law, Greek philosophy, and Christian faith. This unique blend of cultures created a rich tapestry of art, architecture, and literature that has left an indelible mark on the world. At the heart of the empire was Constantinople, a city of immense wealth and grandeur. It was a city that was as vibrant and cosmopolitan as Rome once was. The Hagia Sophia, with its majestic dome, stood as a testament to the empire's architectural prowess, while the Hippodrome, where chariot races were held, echoed the grand spectacles of Rome's Colosseum. The Byzantine Empire was also a preserver of knowledge. As the Western Roman Empire fell, much of the classical knowledge of Greece and Rome was lost. But in the Byzantine Empire, scholars diligently copied ancient texts, preserving them for future generations. It was through these efforts that the works of Homer, Plato, and Aristotle were saved from oblivion. And let's not forget the Byzantine Empire's military prowess. Its armies, utilizing a blend of Roman discipline and Greek strategy, held back the tide of invaders for centuries. It was a bulwark against the spread of Islam into Europe, and its resistance allowed Western Europe time to recover and ultimately thrive. The Byzantine Empire, despite its challenges, was a beacon of light during the Dark Ages. It was a place where the wisdom of the ancients was cherished and the spirit of Rome was kept alive. The Byzantine Empire continued for another 1,000 years, keeping the spirit of Rome alive. Rome's legacy is vast, its influence felt even today. As we've traveled through the annals of Roman history, from its mythical birth to the fall of the Byzantine Empire, we've seen a civilization that has shaped the course of human history in ways few others have. The Romans, in their vast empire, left indelible marks upon the fabric of time. Their contributions to law, for instance, are nothing short of extraordinary. The principles of Roman law, justice, fairness, and the rule of law still echo in the legal systems of many modern nations. They pioneered concepts such as innocent until proven guilty, which remain the bedrock of justice today. When we look to the realm of governance, the Roman Republic's model of representative government has been emulated and adapted by nations across the globe. The idea of checks and balances, of a bicameral legislature, these are Roman concepts that continue to shape how societies are governed. In architecture, Rome's influence is monumental, quite literally. Their innovation in the use of arches, domes, and concrete revolutionized the way buildings were constructed. Roman architectural principles and designs, from the humble abode to the grandest Colosseum, continue to inspire and influence modern architecture. And let's not forget language. Latin, the language of Rome, is the progenitor of the Romance languages and has profoundly influenced other languages, including English. Even if Latin is considered a dead language today, its spirit lives on in the words we speak and write. Rome's influence extends far beyond these realms, touching almost every aspect of our modern world. Its arts, its culture, its military strategies, its societal structures all bear the imprint of Rome. Rome may have fallen, but its spirit, its contributions live on. Rome, the eternal city indeed. As we close this chapter on the history of Rome, let us remember that while empires rise and fall, their legacies endure. So it is with Rome. Its grandeur may have faded, but its spirit, its contributions to humanity continue to shape our world. From a small city-state to a vast empire, Rome's history is a tale of rise and fall. This odyssey began with the birth of Rome, a city founded on the banks of the Tiber River, steeped in mythology and destined for greatness. We've journeyed through the era of the Roman Republic, a time of expansion and political upheaval, where Rome transformed from a regional power into a dominant force in the Mediterranean. We explored the Punic Wars, a series of conflicts with Carthage that would solidify Rome's position as a superpower and pave the way for the Republic's downfall. The fall of the Republic marked a turning point in Roman history, as Julius Caesar's rise and subsequent assassination led to the end of the Republic and the beginning of the Empire. With the rise of the Roman Empire, Rome reached the zenith of its power and influence. From Augustus to Marcus Aurelius, we've seen how emperors shaped the destiny of the realm. The Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability, saw the empire flourish in terms of culture, economy and infrastructure. Yet this golden age wasn't to last forever. The fall of the Roman Empire, a gradual process marked by internal strife and external pressures, signaled the end of the Western Roman Empire. However, the story of Rome didn't end there. The Byzantine Empire, the eastern continuation of the Roman Empire, preserved Roman traditions and culture, while adding its own unique flavor. The Byzantines' influence would ripple through the ages, shaping the course of history long after the fall of Rome. From its humble beginnings to its glorious peak and eventual decline, the history of Rome is a testament to the power of human ambition, resilience, and the inexorable march of time. It's a tale that continues to captivate us, reminding us of the heights humanity can reach and the depths to which it can fall. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Rome's history. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,